Hello, everyone. I am Kenny, the social media and community manager for ritestream, and I have the joy and privilege to welcome Chris Crew and Aurora Townsend.
Hey.
So, guys, would you like to introduce yourselves to everyone?
Did I go first?
Sure. I'm Chris Crew. I'm the CEO of Planet Theta.
I'm Aurora Townsend, and I am the CMO at Planet Theta.
Beautiful. So, guys, the first thing I want to know is kind of like a sort of new tradition that we started here is to ask our guests what they've been watching. Have you been watching any TV series or films lately? Things that kind of got your attention or that you'd recommend?
Yes. I'm a big sci-fi nerd, so all of the new Star Trek series.
Nice.
And a show on Hulu called The Orville. If you haven't seen it,
Orville.
Highly recommend it.
It's like the next generation, like made today, right?
It's so good.
The same vibe.
Yes, it's great. I highly recommend it. Binge watch it. Watch all 3 seasons. Your soul will thank you.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So I have a similar interest, but I'll recommend a cartoon called Lower Decks, and it is also a Star Trek kind of spin-off. But it's like it's about the people who are not, well, it involves a lot of the people on the bridge, but that the main characters are people on lower decks, people that are,
young heroes,
people who like are expendable and die and stuff. But in this case, they're not dying.
Yeah, exactly. The red shirts, and it was created by one of the producers of Rick and Morty, so it has a lot of the same humor stuff.
Super funny.
I have to check that out. I think I saw it. Is it on Amazon Prime Video, right? Am I?
Yeah. It's through Paramount, which is on Hulu and Amazon.
Okay.
Okay, because I think in the UK we have it on Prime. I don't think we have. I don't know if we have Hulu here. Maybe we do, but it's not as popular here, Hulu. But these things change very quickly. We've seen how Disney's overtaking Netflix. You don't know what can happen. Hulu might overtake sometime. It all depends on those licenses and the support, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, guys. Those are good recommendations. I'd like to give you a couple of questions that I'd like to throw at you guys. And then what we'll do is we're going to obviously, and of course, going to go through some of the right date challenges on Twitter. We're going to go through your stories of your first dates or interesting dates, funny dates, silly dates, all of them. And we're going to pick a winner who will win the Meta Quest VR headset, courtesy of our lovely friends here, Planet Theta. And then after that, we will then take questions from you guys, and we'll be giving away some right token to the best questions asked. Let's get started. So, what exactly is Planet Theta, and how does it work?
Well, I guess I'll take this one. It's at Planet Theta, we think everybody has a right to find love, and we feel like a lot of the apps that people are using to find love just aren't delivering. And the main reasons are kind of twofold. One is that they're just plagued by bots and people that are being it's like their job to try to convince you to send them money while pretending to be someone else. Now, that's like somebody, that's like a full-on job, I think, in India right now is to.
Yeah, I've met many princes and kings.
Right, you know what I'm saying, and that's become a serious issue. Then the other issue is that there's just not a real secure way and a way to where you can maintain your privacy and security and still connect. Like you've got to share your social media with total strangers, or they don't think you're real, and then you got to meet up with somebody in blind date style to get a feel for if you have any chemistry. And that process is both unsafe, but also just not popular. Especially among women, like the phone apps, dating apps, all the big ones right now, there's more than 3 men for every 1 woman. And so you can imagine, like, that just doesn't really work. I mean, think about any sort of matchmaking party, anything you'd go to, if there was like 3 men for every woman, you'd be like, oh, this isn't a good party. What is this? It's not good. It's probably, and so at Planet Theta, we're really focused on resolving those issues and creating a way for people to test chemistry and go on dates within our app without having to risk your security, without having to give away your privacy, and also a way to test identities and ensure that there's no bots and that there's not people, for the most part, that there's not a whole bunch of catfishers. And on our platform right now, you got to have a headset. And so there aren't like, a whole bunch of people in India with just a cell phone who can jump in now and pretend to be somebody. Also, it's really difficult with a headset to pretend to be someone else. It's really easy to pretend to be whoever you want with a phone, a little text message, a little clicking with your thumbs look a lot like everybody else's thumbs, but when you're in VR and you have to hold, you have, a lot of body language and you're talking in real time and, your accent and there's a lot of things that you'd have to fake to do a good fake of somebody that you're not. And it's not to say it can't be done, but it's to say first, there's zero bots. There's not one, right? There's just not a bot for VR yet. That may change. In fact, it probably will. But at least at this point, there's literally none. And the ability to be a catfisher is incredibly diminished. So it's not that there'll be none, but I bet you compared to the current bots and catfishers, I bet you it'll be like 1%. Like instead of it being, nearly, half the people you talk to or more, it'll be like, maybe you'll run into somebody at some point that is not real. Very different situation. And we think that those two combined factors, being able to resolve some of the security and privacy issues while also kind of taking care of some of the identity issues and catfishing issues, that we'll be able to provide a new way for people to find love that's just way more effective.
Brilliant. Thank you. That was an excellent explanation.
Thanks.
You might have already answered some of the questions I was about to ask you. So again, this was like point of entry. How do you enter Planet Theta? And you mentioned it was primarily, or for now, it's absolutely a VR exclusive. Would you say? Or
you want to take this one?
I mean, the simple answer is yes. Right now, it's a VR exclusive. We will be branching to other VR headsets, but at launch, we are kind of optimized and offered on the Meta Quest 2.
Well, we also have an associated phone app. So
yes.
Even though you meet with people online, after you meet and connect, and you go on dates with people online with the headset, after you meet and connect that way, now you are connected on our associated phone app. And on the phone app, you can do things like message with people that you've connected with, or you can send pictures or video. You can message to set up a time to meet up in VR or in person. And you're also able to buy things. There's a bunch of different things you can do through the phone app, but it's not the experience. It's more like you connect in the headset, and then those people you connect with, then you can talk with or look at their profile, look at their pictures, talk and interact with them on the phone app. Because you don't want to be in VR always. It's can make you sick or something if you try to stay there for hours and hours. But after you've connected with them though, and you've had a great date with them, now instead of having to go into VR to like message with them and connect again, we've got a phone app. But unlike typical phone app dating, you can't just like swipe through profiles. That's not a thing in the phone app. You can go through and meet lots of different people in the VR app, but in the phone app, you're not meeting new people. You're just talking with the people you've already met. So it's a little different system. Well, really different system, but basically we've got an associated phone app that's integral to how the larger dating app works, even though it's not where you start. It's kind of where you end, if that makes sense.
Plus, it's easier to edit your profile that way. No one likes the keyboards in VR.
Yeah.
So uploading your photos in VR is probably easier with the app, right, from your phone.
Exactly. Just go straight from your photo library.
Yeah. So, as of now, you're beta testing. When is the final version expected to be released on the market?
You want this one?
We are looking at the end of November currently, this coming November. So in like 2 months. Okay.
So up and coming very, very, very soon.
Very soon. We'll be out for the holidays.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be in time for my birthday. Actually.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
All right. We're get Kenny on his birthday.
We'll have to put a link in Planet Theta.
Get me a date. That'll be fun. So speaking of dating, I'd like to know if I do go on my Planet Theta date on my birthday, what are some of the things that couples can do in the app?
You want me to take that? You got that?
You can have it.
Okay. Well, there's all kinds of things, but some of the places that we've started to create or that we've created are there's a bar, there's a dance club, there's a theater that we're working on with all rights, of course, and so you can go and see all kinds of different things at the theater, and we're trying to expand the opportunities there, and we're working on a comedy club and a casino. Right now, we also have this enchanted forest that you can walk through and interact with these different animals and stuff. And it's something that it's still in development, but when we launch, you'll be able to interact with a lot of the animals, and there'll be a bunch of little things you can do, little kind of mini games of sorts throughout the place. What's different about the dating areas than the public areas is that, you can only go into the dating areas with a date. So when couples, once they connect through what we call a coffee date, and that's something that's a structure that I can go into in a second, but it's what we've made is the gatekeeper to the dating areas. And why is so that they're different, so that you can't just go into a dating area as a single. You've got to there's public areas like a bar or a dance club you can go into as a single. But we created a bunch of couples only areas because it changes the atmosphere a lot. It's a lot quieter. It's less rowdy. People are focused on their new date instead of on the public generally. And so whereas maybe the bar and dance club are a little bit more like typical social VR now, where it's a little more rowdy. It's adults only, so it's not a bunch of kids, but it's not people talking quietly by themselves. There's lots of laughter. People are kind of loud. It's like kind of a bar. You're going to hear people talking over each other and a couple different conversations, just the way it is. Whereas in the dating areas, it's super quiet. You're not really going to hear anybody but your date. Probably maybe once in a while you hear a tiny bit of chatter from someone else. But if you do, you'll probably move apart from each other. And there's enough space so that if you move, and the game's set up like in real life, where if you're not next to people, you don't hear them. If you go away from them, you can't hear them. So
authentic experience.
Oh yeah. We also talked about the potential of having it in like dating areas where you can't even hear other couples. So it's a completely private conversation. So that way you don't feel that people are like eavesdropping on you, or you feel like awkward all of a sudden.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Privacy.
For sure. I mean, everyone needs that every so often. I mean, there's a lot of times where I don't want people eavesdropping and listening to what I have to say, So, yeah.
There's also every user gets their own apartment in our app, and it's something that you can decorate and change and upgrade in different ways, and basically style it the way you want it to be. Right now in our beta, everybody has the exact same one, and they're not customizable. But that's something that we're about to launch in a couple of our new builds, and that I think people are going to have a lot of fun with. Bottom line is, after you have a date and you've gone to a dating area with somebody and everything's gone well and both sides agree, then you can invite people back to your place, and that's what we call the private space. That's the third type of space that we offer, and it's really different than the public and the dating areas in that we don't have the same rules for it. It's your own private space, so people can't walk in there on their own. There's no way to get there. You can't ask to go there. You can only be invited there by the owner of the apartment. And when you're there, and you can't even be invited there until you've gone through this structured approach. So you've got to have already been dating in the app to be able to go to somebody else's your place. But the deal is that you can't scream a whole bunch of swear words and bloody murder in the bar without getting banned, right? Or not banned, but at least getting kicked out of the room. And
people will complain.
People will complain. Yeah. Right. If you upset people and say really mean things to people over and over again in the public area, you're trolling or whatever, they're going to ban you. Initially, people are going to silence you, and then people are going to, want to report you, and then you'll probably get kicked in some way. So whereas in your place, there's different rules. You can kind of say whatever you want. We don't really care, barring you being really, really mean to somebody. We're really not trying to police what you say, though, in any way, for the most part. Our main rule is just nothing about children. You can't make your avatar look like a child, and you can't actually have children, or be a child. But otherwise, that's kind of the only real rules for your place, for your own apartment. But bottom line is, you can take your date there to your own back to your apartment and have a private space to be able to chat and talk through things or do whatever you want.
Fantastic. So I guess you've got a pretty good balanced approach there when it comes to being in public. It's like, like in real life, there's a social thing. It's like read the room. If you're making someone annoyed or upset, then you're probably going to get kicked out the bar, like in real life. Like the guy will be like, okay, you got to go. Like
exactly.
real life, right?
It's just like that. It is like that. It's not that you can't swear. It's an adults only place. But if you're screaming, it's a whole bunch of swear words over and over again, and you're upsetting people, well, that's different. If you make a joke and you swear once, well, it's an adults only place. I mean,
people typically don't get mad from, stuff
right?
like that. Like it's a public place. That's what you expect, like at a bar when you go there. Like people will be rowdy, but there's a certain level where it's just like, nah, dude, you're cut off.
Right. Exactly.
Fantastic. So I tell you what, you guys do run like we do. We run events every week to keep everything interesting and exciting and fun for our community. Could you tell us more about your weekly Friday events?
Well, every week for the last few weeks, we've been doing a beta test where people will come together on Friday. In the States, it's Friday evening. It's 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. But we're about to change that because this coming Friday, we've got a big update, and we're going to be knocking out some things. And the following Monday, so the 26th, we're going to be having our next big it's our next big update. We're hoping to change to an open beta, and we'll see how that goes. But the bottom line is it's a really big update, and we're going to have a party on that day, and it'll have a bunch of new things that we're making for the app that haven't really been seen before. And we're trying to integrate with a bunch of different companies, including Spotify for things like your music for in your place or at the bar or the dance club, so that people will be able to play their own music in addition to if they're not, we can now integrate some playlists that are, kind of cool. Right. I'll say right now, our music's been all right. It got better.
It got better.
It's been worse, but we'll just say it sucked. I'll just be honest. It sucked.
It's like some copyright-free, stock music. That's
we started with something that was just, it's a beta, right? But now we're going to integrate like real music, like things you've heard and probably
on the radio.
You may not like it all, but at least it won't be like this loop.
I do have to ask at some point, will you guys implement a karaoke bar?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We definitely have talked about the thought of this. We want this to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not at launch, but it will definitely be in one of our updates after launch.
Yeah, it's going to actually just be at the bar. We've already got it set up with a stage, but it's adding that microphone with the music on a little screen for you to be able to do the karaoke that we've talked about adding. But it isn't far off. So that'll probably be something you see right after launch.
It's exciting. But, just like karaoke, it's going to be on certain days.
Yeah, it won't be every day.
Not every day, yeah. There's only so much you can tolerate someone's butchering of Queen or something.
Right, exactly. Right.
Trying their best to do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
They try. They mean well.
It's like, well, it's fun, but, yeah, exactly.
My ears can only bleed so much.
Most people are including myself, just terrible singers. So, trying to get a big group of people that can actually sing real well is
tough.
Yeah, not likely.
It's all in good. It's all in good fun, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So you guys touched on this earlier, actually, about catfishing. And you mentioned like this. I mean, could you maybe elaborate a bit more? Is there some sort of verification process? How do people know that they're meeting a real person and not catfishing? Will you offer some sort of verification process?
Yeah. First of all, you've got to have a Meta ID to even get into the app, and they do a fair amount of verification of their own, regardless of what you like about Facebook and Meta. They've got some tools they're using. We're also using an ID verification tool that looks at social media and makes sure and like logins and profiles around the net. It does a real deep search on your email that you're trying to use to log in, and trying to determine whether or not it's a real email or one you just made for this. Is this a throwaway email that you feel like you made because you don't want to have consequences to your actions, or is this like your email or one of your main emails that you've used before, right? Because if you've used it before, we'll be able to tell. You'll have some web presence with that email. You'll have like a Costco account, or you'll have a account with Prime or Hulu or Disney or something. You'll have an account with something because you've been doing something online in your life. You have a social media account with something, right? Well, Twitter or Instagram or something. And we're able to look at that. And it's also a lot of these data breaches. There's that we can look at, and then it also looks at government records. There's a whole bunch of things we're looking at to determine whether or not your email is a legitimate email. And we can do it in real time. It only takes a few seconds. We also have this real cutting edge photo verification system that is so much better than what's going on in other dating apps. Like right now, you can get around their verified photos, like they're saying, point with your left hand, this thing. And so there's a bunch of, people in India and elsewhere figured out, well, there's only about 20 or 30 different variations of that. Take all those pictures and then you can just hold that up in front of the camera and boom, you've got verified pictures,
Photoshop.
Right. And or photoshopping your hands different ways. But the point of it is that it's not a very, it's easy to get around. It's not really verification. And where we've got a system where you're taking a live video and it can tell if you're real or not. And it pulls, and you don't have to put that video on your profile for people to look at, but you got to take this real live video from the cell phone, and it can tell if it's alive, if you're doing it live, and it can tell if it's a real video of you versus like some screen or something behind it. It does a really good job of telling if you're trying to fake it out. And I don't know how you get around it right now. It looks at a whole bunch of different data points to determine if it's real. It's something like 60 or 70 different data points. It's trying to see if your eyes are blinking right, and it's like other things. It's looking at a lot of stuff because it's a long video. It's not like a 1 second. They want you got to look at it for like 30 seconds. It feels like eternity, to be honest. But once it's done, it verifies you're real, and that's a big deal. So we also have integrated a background check system where you could click to have a background check done on yourself, and then that gives you a little badge that says, I've been background checked or whatever. And then also when you're meeting with somebody and you've connected, an ability to for a real cheap price do a background check on your date before you'd meet up. So if you're thinking about meeting up with somebody, you've gone on a couple of VR dates, and you want to say, gee, I want to go to that next step and get together in person in real life, you can click a little button and then it do a little background check on them. And so there's a variety of things like this that we've done that we think will really create a lot more security. Now, also the thing with catfishing is that like it's your real voice. So like you've got to have a really great voice that matches who you're claiming to be, both your accent, gender, whatever. And so a lot of people that are faking it will not be great at that. And like I said, there's no bots in VR yet. There's literally not. There's just no. There aren't any. That may change, but that certainly is not the case now. So if you're trying to get to a place where there isn't a whole bunch of bots and catfishers, and everyone you talk to is actually like a real person, I think the only place out there is Planet Theta. I don't think there's another platform that's nearly as authentic as Planet Theta.
Brilliant. We have a very large and wide international community. We got people from Asia to in Europe to North America, South. So what a lot of people would like to know is like, is the app all in English, and do you offer other languages, or will you offer support for other languages?
Do this one or you want this?
I mean, we're going to be offering at launch probably all the major languages around the world. Planet Theta typically works based off your location. So it's going to be matching you with within your country or your region of your country. So all the other people that you meet will hopefully, speak your same language. So that won't be an issue. And as we keep updating, our goal is to hit all the languages, obviously, but that's going to take a little bit of time.
I'll tell you what, an interesting idea, maybe what you could do is a language learning date. You could meet someone from another country to learn French or Spanish.
That's
and
a
vice versa.
great idea.
They could learn English. Someone wants to learn English. So so it's quite interesting that how you could do that. You could set up a specific type of date of learning.
So we have a premium membership that allows you to basically do that, where you can go outside your area. But if you're for the regular membership, that's free. You're matching with other people. So when you go to the bar, it's other people that are near you. So that if you hit it off, you could actually get together and meet up in person. That said, if you wanted to go and check out what the bar is like in another country, you want to go check out what it's like in England or Japan or France or wherever you want to go, that'll be an option with the premium. You can go there, but they're going to, obviously speak their language and expect everyone to do it their way. So if you're an American and you're thinking you're going to run in with English and speak to everybody in English,
good luck.
It may not work like you're hoping. And so that said, I think it'll be an incredible experience for a lot of people.
Absolutely. It'd be like having a virtual trip to, to that country, that bar, like you're there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you're meeting the locals.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of features that are being implemented here. And you briefly touched on a cinema. So can you tell us a little bit about that? What relationship does ritestream have with Planet Theta? What's kind of in the process and the works as we discuss this?
So although it's located on Planet Theta, it's the ritestream theater, in that the content that's going to be on the theater, it's the ritestream content. We're really excited to have this partnership because, well, we're not content producers or content creators in terms of like films and television shows, and we love what ritestream has been doing. They have such a large catalog of content, and it's growing all the time, and we're excited to begin integrating as much of it as possible, and ultimately the plan is to try to use our initial offerings as a pilot for larger production houses to give us some of their in-theater content. This isn't something that it has been locked in or anything, but this is what we're working on. What our hope is and our vision for the theater is that ultimately we're going to have things that are currently in the theaters instead of content that is a few months old, that was once in theaters and now it's a bunch of different places. So we're working on that, but we think that that's the future, and a lot of it is because that the in-person theaters, at least in the States, have been just decimated. The market is literally a third of where it was only 2 years ago. It is, nobody's going to the theater, like a third as many people going to the theater as 2 years ago. It's like that. Like, I don't, it's hard to imagine, but that an industry had been this culturally connected to people is now considered, I don't know, like something from the past, I guess. Young people don't look at the theater as cool. And they don't go and hang out at the theater anymore. They used to be a thing that people did 20 years ago. It's not a thing that goes on now. That just isn't a thing. And so you go to the theater and it's just empty. We went to the theater a few weeks ago and it was dead empty. There was literally one other person in the whole theater.
It was so good.
What the heck? And it was like a prime time. It was, I want to say it was like Friday night. It wasn't super late, No one getting popcorn or anything. We're the only ones like at the concession, and then we're the only one at the theater. I swear to God, I don't know how they're in business. And I think
it was nice.
It was great, but I also just told me like, wow, that the theaters are about to die, like that. They're going away. But there's got to be a way for these, multi-million-dollar production companies to get their films out to people, and they've been afraid to put it on television screens and on the internet because people will pirate them, and they're also afraid that people will not pay for them. That like one person pays and me and all my buddies get to watch for free. You know what I mean? And that's what the beauty of the headset is that the production companies can be assured it's a one person. One person's paying and one person's viewing. And that's something that they're really, we think they're going to be really excited about, because it's in my opinion, the first real opportunity to be able to properly monetize the way you do in person in a theater, but without having to have the theater, where everybody can do it from home when they want, at their convenience. and be able to get together with their friends still, but not have to go to and sit in a, in a chair that you feel like is dirty and been sat in by who knows how many people,
Sticky
and or
floor.
just some crazy person who's screaming and or weird, Yep. And so that, and or maybe you're worried about COVID or other stuff, but the point is you can do it all from home, and it's just way more convenient. And if you can see the blockbuster films without having to drive to the theater and deal with it all, also, concessions aren't cheap there, and so you could have a popcorn and a soda, or for that matter, a beer, and hang out and do it the way you want with your friends, instead of the way it's kind of being offered at the theater.
Yeah, so wear some sweatpants, chill out.
We're super excited about the theater. We think it's going to be groundbreaking. I think it's going to revolutionize film in the United States. I think that most people in the United States are going to stop going to the theaters. It's already happened, right? Like 2/3, I said it's a third of where it was 3 years ago, but they're going to replace it. People still love movies. They just don't want to go to the theater anymore. And when people figure out that they can get all that content through the headset, I think they're going to be there in droves. I'm really excited by our partnership and where the movie theater is going to go. We think in short order.
It's exciting stuff, and it really does. It kind of brings home the true feeling of a cinema to your home, which is basically the ultimate convenience, really, isn't it? In so many different ways, and obviously a lot cheaper and time consuming, because you don't have to drive. You can just sit in your, like you said, wear your onesie and a bowl of popcorn.
Well, to be fair, I would wear that to the movie theater anyways.
There you go. Braver than I would love to, but I'm not. I'm too self-conscious. Anyway, thank you so much. So it would be my pleasure if you guys are okay to. We'll go through our Right Date challenge, go through some of your stories, and we'll kind of go through them and pick a winner. So
yeah, let's do it.
All right. So
all right.
Let's. Do you want me to narrate, or would you like to narrate? Because I think. All right. How about this one? I'll narrate it. My first real right date, when I knew my ex-husband 30 years ago, my mum promised him something she wasn't going to give. I phoned him to tell him this. He said to meet, and then we dated. Next day, 25 years, 2 daughters. Happy birthday today, Mum.
Okay, that's sweet, but it's not funny.
Oh, so we want to go for a funny. Is that where you want to go? You want to go for the humor?
I thought there'd be some funny ones.
There might be a couple. We'll keep going through. I can't remember. Some Spanish. We went to Japan. There's lots of memories, good dates. 2003, 2 girls going to and some divorce. That's not bad. So they're divorced now. That's not a happy ending.
The ending was the best part.
They're divorced.
They returned their product.
They returned, and now they're divorced. Right. So, Chibi, you've been going through a couple of these. You've written a few stories, but let's see. When I know you're a person after sharing, the car broke down. We had time to chit chat. Gave a Reiki to a driver who was nervous. Still friends after 1 or 3 years. I gotta say, this one got my attention. The Shrek did.
Yeah, okay. This one automatically is just nice vibe.
Me, 16 years old, on a date with my school crush. Spent my flimsy allowance on McDonald's. She ordered chicken nuggets at the time. They were releasing Shrek Happy Meal toys. Got the Happy Meal. She spent most of the date berating me for getting a kid's toy. Didn't care. Got Shrek.
Okay, that one A+ right now. Yes, that's the winner right now. That's the top of my book.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Thank you, Jacob. I pecked the bed.
Great username too.
Amazing. All right,
let's see here. When I took a whole flight at 19 just to go visit my boyfriend for a bit, even though my parents were highly against it. I'd never been on a plane before. Wow.
Okay, that'd be kind of better if they told the story of, sneaking out of their house to literally go on a flight to go see their boyfriend or whatever.
I'll give you a story. I remember when I was younger, I used to at the time there was no laptops weren't a thing. it was like you had a family computer. Every family had a computer.
Yep.
And I used to sneak downstairs to talk to like a kind of like a long distance girlfriend or whatever. And we used to play games online together. Like it was quite early days, but we used to play, and I used to sneak. And eventually one day we met up, and like it was funny. Like we became friends and didn't turn into anything. It was just, but we eventually did meet. But I used to remember sneaking downstairs when I was supposed to be going to sleep, sneaking downstairs and going online to talk to her. So yeah. There's a story for free. That's one of my own personal stories. And guys, if you have a story as well, Chris, Aurora, if you've got a story you want to share that's funny or embarrassing, please do.
All right, I've got one for you.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay.
So a few years ago, I met someone on a dating app, and she seemed real nice, and we went out. I took her to this kind of fancy sort of tea and coffee place where you kind of look at teas and kind of try them, and got a couple things. And then across from it, there was this place that was offering like a free, or not a free, it was paid, but like a short little tarot reading or palm reading or some sort of psychic thing. And I forget, and the place is called Psychic Sister, right? And they also sell like, I don't know, kind of hippie type clothes or something, and jewelry and stuff. It's but it's right next to us. And I say, hey, what do you think? That'd be kind of fun. So we go over there. She's like, okay, cool. And I pay for it, and they take us to this little booth, and we've got somebody, kind of a fortune teller of sorts, who's gonna, starts doing our charts for astrology, I think, and starts talking about us, and and then how we have some sort of cosmic connection or something like this, right? And then she immediately stands up and says, and has this like frantic look on her face, like something crazy's happened. Now, mind you, nothing's happened, right? They're just, I don't know, it's just kind of the typical sort of woo-woo stuff's going. So she's freaked out. She's like, this is over. I can't do this anymore. And she's like trembling. I'm like, can't do this anymore. What do we do?
What are we doing?
Oh, and so I kind of look back at the fortune teller and say, well, I guess we're calling this a little early. And she understood. And she went on to, my date went on to then explain in front of us that that she was going to go to hell because of this. And that she wanted to leave and stuff. And I was just like, oh, shoot. Wow. Okay. Wasn't trying to send you to hell. I was just trying to do something fun. If you didn't like this, you should have said something. You could have. I was not like, must go to the fortune people. I mean, that's just not like my thing. I was just trying to do something to break the ice and be kind of funny and be easy going.
Something different.
10 minutes, Oh boy. So no, that was the end of that though.
That's funny.
Points for creativity though. That is different, like to place. And I'm sorry she didn't appreciate it. Maybe it was for the best,
Oh,
I think you dodged the bullet there, my friend.
It was literally for the best, Yeah,
you dodged the bullet. Aurora, do you have something, or is you gonna be tight-lipped and let secrets be secrets?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay. Say no more. I won't question or prod further. No problem there. So
Mine
guys,
let's cringy. They're not funny. They're just sad.
Oh.
Well, they didn't end it all in divorce and everything, like Chibi's comments up here. They're all like, they're all divorced.
God.
So right, who's our winner? Who would we want to pick as our winner?
Shrek.
Yeah. This guy, Jacob.
Shrek.
Jacob.
I pecked the bed.
That was pretty.
I'm an evil parrot, and
and he's gonna win.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, that was funny. How can you not?
Congratulations, Jacob.
Karen got Shrek.
Well done. You got Shrek. You didn't care. You got Shrek.
I mean, that's funny. I don't know what to say.
Beautiful. So, right. If we have enough time, we'd love to get some questions from you guys in the comments, in the audience.
Perfect.
So let's see. Hopefully, we'll have some questions here. So give it a bit of time. If there's any questions, please post them now. Best questions that we answer will get rite tokens, so rite coin. So be sure to drop in with your question. I'm actually looking now to see if there is questions already. I guess no one's asked them at the start. Ah, okay. Do you want? Okay, this one this is for you, Chris. This is about your story you just said earlier.
Oh, okay.
Wants to know how long he's been with the girl, and so how long? Like, was it like one date and that was it? You didn't continue? Or did you?
That was the first date. We had only been on the date for maybe 20 minutes when that happened. Like, we had just gone to this place and looked at tea and coffee. We were there for maybe 20 minutes. Went across the street or right next door. It's right next to it though. I don't know if it's across the street or next door, but it's right next to it. We walked out. I could see the sign and I was like, you want to try that? Like, wasn't really sure. I didn't have a real clear plan after that. This was the initial plan because I was like, well, I kind of feel each other out. It went really well. So I was like, oh, let's continue. Well, what else should we do? And yeah. And so that was the end of that. Afterwards, I think I took her home or to a place. I don't know I don't remember if it was her house or she had me drop her off somewhere, but she didn't want to continue either. She was freaked out. And we'll just say there was I didn't follow up. And I don't think she may have messaged me once or something afterwards, but I think that was the end of that. That was the end of that.
Probably for the best.
For both of us. I don't think we were a good fit. It was pretty clear, that wasn't going to be a good fit. Yeah.
Agreed. Let's see. Well, that's just in the question, but Eamon just said that he met his fiance online. So nice. I guess he started that's
see, that makes sense. Yeah. It's honestly kind of weird when people don't meet online nowadays.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so normalized to meet them online on Instagram or a dating app or something.
It's true. One of my first, recently, most of them have been online first. At least that's the first contact, and then we meet, and then it's really kind of changed the way in which dating has happens now.
Not even just dating, but friendships.
True. I mean, friendships people who I played video games with.
Yes.
I've met them in real life and we meet up and was it's amazing to see someone for real.
Exactly. It's also really weird. A lot of dating apps, or not all the dating apps, but some of the dating apps actually have a friend filter. So it's you're not looking for a romantic partner, but you're looking for a new bestie.
Friend. Yeah, I've seen those as well. I think Bumble does that. They do one for me having friends, or even ones which are more sort of business friends. They want to make friends with people who are in industries so similar to them or something. So there's work related sort of apps for that as well. Almost like a LinkedIn, but more in a dating app environment, which is quite interesting take, right?
Yeah.
Right. So let's see here. So about the Theta platform, I'd like to know if you'll be able to create a medium whereby, without going in dates, you can easily just get fun, do your thing. I like VR every day. So let's say, can you go into Planet Theta and just have fun? You don't want a date, you just want to play around, do the karaoke nights, go see a movie. Yeah. You don't have to date, you can just go and have fun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, okay, one of the big things that I really love about Planet Theta is that there's multiple ways that you can initiate meeting people. And as kind of an extrovert myself, I would prefer just going into the public areas and just going to go hang out with new people and just chat them up. So it's just if you're really into that, or if you just want to go and see the vibe and kind of people watch, be our guest. It's a great place.
You could be the wallflower if you wanted. You could just be seeing what's going on. Hey, just listening and just chat or not chat, just hang out.
Yeah, go watch a movie by yourself. I love taking myself on solo dates. It's the best.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you, Kenny. Shoot.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, it would be an interesting, kind of journey. I think you mentioned that, was it an Enchanted Woods?
Enchanted Forest, yes.
Forest. That would be very, very relaxing just to do by yourself, just to wander and take in the atmosphere of the place. Almost kind of meditative, almost
kind of is.
meditating, right?
It kind of
Sure.
is. There's some pretty animals you can feed. You know, they're
There's
kind of like
animals?
sci-fi alien animals, but but it's weird because they're like animals you'd find on Earth, but they don't look like animal. It's
They're like
weird.
hybrid. They're like what the animal would have looked like if they evolved on another planet.
Yes, and it's like bioluminescence sort of vibe. Like they look cool.
That's great. Fantastic. I think unless we have any more, I think we're about around 45 minutes. Guys, is there anything in particular that you'd like to kind of like let people know about? People should be informed. Like, where can they find you? What's coming up? Just any news that you'd like to kind of end this this beautiful segment, this beautiful AMA with.
Well, if you guys are interested, we have so many different types of social media. And if you want to keep up to date on everything that we're doing and about our release, follow us at Planet Theta on our Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, or you can go to our website at planet-theta.com.
And I'll say
Beautiful.
probably
That's
our
great.
number one social media that we really kind of push is probably is Instagram, but we have all of them though. But if you have an Instagram account, we'd encourage you to check that one. But also our website, it's planet-theta.com. And so if you want to just get a little information about us, and again, you can find our app through the beta on the Meta Head Quest. So if you put on the headset and go to the store and you type in Planet Theta, you'll be able to find us basically in about a week and a half. After the 26th, it'll come up. Right now, you can message us through our website. There's a form to fill out that you fill out, and then we'll be able to get you access to the app, where similarly you'd be able to just type in Planet Theta and find it. But there's a little process where we have to basically get you to click an email link that says you're invited to be part of the beta. And but that first step was about to disappear, like I said, in about a week and a few days. And we'd love to see you there. So jump in there and just check it out and see what you think.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I will definitely take you up on that invite. Especially, I really look forward to watching some films together. Actually, in this ritestream cinema theater, it'll be a lot of fun.
Theater's gonna be super cool.
It's almost
It's really, really amazing. It's nothing quite like it. I've tried something similar, and it's like it feels as close as you can get to it, and it's special. And it's will be even more special. We get to do it together and with friends and our dates. If I can get a date.
You'll definitely get a date, Kenny. Oh, for sure. You've been on these dating apps where it's 3 dudes for every lady, so it seems ridiculous, But no.
Get more like.
Well, I was going to say, I'm actually before we go. Actually, I will say this: I am over 6'3".
Oh, dang.
Will I be able to say will I actually be proportionally 6'3" in it? Can I put that as my credentials?
Yes, you can. We have a way where you can put in your exact height, and
your avatar will change.
Your avatar will be, the height that you say. And we also have a way for it to determine your height on its own. So we can have it be a thing where it just kind of auto does it right now. But if it's doing it wrong for some reason, it's making you, too tall or too short or something, then you can change it. That's kind of it. But it just auto does it. The Quest knows how high you are from the floor, and it can just tell how tall you are. So we take those readings and that data and then translate it into your avatar size. So
I didn't mean to turn that into a humble brag, but yeah, it's
it's not bad. That's cool, man. I mean,
it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys, Chris, Aurora. It's been a pleasure. Really looking forward to working with you guys, building this together. Really, really excited. Thank you again for joining us on this AMA, and yeah.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been great.
Yeah. Thank you too, Kenny. Thanks for organizing this. Super cool.
Absolute pleasure. And everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week. We'll be running a weekly AMA, so you'll still see me. You'll be given the latest news, every week. So all good. Right. So Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a lovely weekend.
See you later, everybody. Nice to meet you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, cool. I gotta rush out.